My girlfriend admitted she was sleeping with her boss, then looked me dead in the eye and said, "I needed a real man." I laughed, grabbed my keys and walked out. She thought I'd break down. Instead, I went silent. This morning, I woke up to 32 missed calls, 47 texts, and a truth that changed everything. I stopped by that bakery she likes, the one on South Fremont with the pistachio croissants and the impossible parking. The snow was coming down sideways, and I'd nearly turned back twice. But it was her birthday. I figured, screw it. One small good thing. Funny how the little routines don't prepare you for the moment everything fractures. When I walked through our apartment door, the box of pastries still warm in my hand, I didn't expect the floor to give out beneath me. Not yet. That happened the next morning. I woke up to 32 missed calls. My screen lit up like a warning flare. Looking back now, I should have seen it coming. The signs were there, scattered like breadcrumbs over the last few months. But when you've been with someone for 3 years, you don't just look for signs. You look for excuses to dismiss them. I kept telling myself I was imagining things. At first, it was just little changes. Allison started working late more often. Understandable, given the busy season at her firm. But then it was a new perfume I didn't recognize. Dresses and heels she hadn't worn in the entire time we'd been together, suddenly appearing in the closet. Her phone became a sacred object, always glued to her side, never unlocked, even when we were brushing our teeth together. I'm not the jealous type, never have been, but something felt off. Like the way she'd flinch slightly when I hugged her from behind while she was texting, or how she'd step out on the balcony to take work calls, even when it was 18 degrees outside. Then came the string of girls' nights with friends whose names I'd never heard, paired with photos that didn't show any of them. I wanted to believe her. I really did. But last Tuesday sealed it. I was folding laundry on the couch when her phone, forgotten for once, lit up on the table. A message preview from someone named Jay flashed across the screen. "Miss you already. Last night was." That was all it showed. But my stomach dropped through the floor. I didn't want to be that guy, the one who reads through his partner's phone. But it felt like the universe had finally stopped being subtle. When she got home that night, she was in the kitchen blending one of her post-gym smoothies like nothing had changed. I leaned against the doorway, heartbeat steady. "Who's Jay?" I asked. She paused. Shoulders stiffened. Then she turned, smiled. Not her usual smile. Something cold, coiled, like she'd been waiting for this. "Wondered when you'd finally catch on," she said, sipping casually. "Jay's my boss. And yes, I've been sleeping with him for 2 months." The way she said it, like reciting a grocery list. No guilt, no shame, just pride. "I needed a real man," she added, lips curling. "Someone who actually knows what he wants. Not a guy who wastes his weekends playing video games with Jacob or watching stupid sci-fi movies." I stood there, frozen. 3 years together, and this was how she saw me. Through the shock, something colder settled in. Not anger, not heartbreak, clarity. I asked one question. "Does Chloe know?" Chloe, the friend who introduced us. Our mutual third wheel. The one who always took Allison's side in arguments. Allison laughed. "Oh, she's known for weeks. Most of our friends know. They get it. Jay actually has a future. Not just plans and dreams and excuses." That hit harder than the cheating itself. All the birthdays, the group trips, the countless dinner parties. Just a backdrop to my slow, quiet humiliation. My friends? Watching this unfold like spectators at a car crash. Maybe even rooting for it. I pulled out my phone and dropped a message into our group chat with Jacob and Chloe. "Is this true? You all knew?" Jacob replied almost instantly. "Bro, you're great. But Allison deserves someone more established. Don't take it personal." Chloe followed with, "We didn't want to hurt you. But maybe this is the wake-up call you needed." I looked up from my phone. Allison was watching me, that smirk still playing across her lips. She wanted the scene, the drama, something she could spin later. Poor Michael. He lost it. He couldn't handle the truth. Instead, I smiled. A real one. Full, calm, clean. Without a word, I walked to the bedroom, grabbed my go bag, laptop, keys. I always kept a weekend bag packed, just in case. Never thought I'd use it for this. On my way out, I passed her in the kitchen. Her smirk had slipped. "Where are you going?" she demanded. "Out," I said. "And Allison, keep the apartment. I'm sure Jay can help with the rent." I heard her calling something as the door clicked shut behind me, but I didn't listen. My phone buzzed like a live wire. Jacob, Chloe, Allison, unknown numbers. I turned it off. The cold air hit me like a baptism as I walked to my car. I didn't know where I was going. I still don't. But for the first time in months, I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't staying where I wasn't wanted. And maybe, just maybe, losing everything was how I'd finally find what mattered. Edit 1. For those asking why I didn't lose it when she confessed. Truth is, I think part of me had already let her go. That smirk just confirmed what my gut had been whispering for weeks. Edit 2. Yeah, I still have the texts from Jacob and Chloe. I didn't delete a thing. It's weird seeing your friends write you off like a footnote. But I'm keeping them just in case clarity ever needs receipts. Edit 3. I've gotten a few messages asking why I didn't check her phone earlier. Honestly, I trusted her. Maybe too much. But I'd rather be the guy who gave someone a chance than the one who became a detective in his own relationship. Update 1. First off, thanks. I didn't expect my story to resonate the way it did. But I appreciate the messages, the advice, even the quiet solidarity. Honestly, I'm still piecing it all together. But here's where things stand now. I've been staying at this rundown little motel off Route 17, just outside of town. Room smells like old cigarettes and lemon cleaning spray, but it's clean. The owner, Pete, is this Vietnam vet with a limp and a surprisingly kind heart. When I told him why I needed a place, he didn't ask questions. Just knocked $20 off the weekly rate and said, "Sometimes you gotta get away from the noise." After 2 days of silence, I finally turned my phone back on. 32 missed calls. 47 unread messages. Most were from Allison. Some from Jacob and Chloe. A few from numbers I didn't recognize. Probably mutuals who saw the blast radius forming and wanted to get ahead of it. But what hit hardest? The storm on social media. Allison had wasted no time rewriting the narrative. Her Instagram stories painted a version of events I barely recognized. According to her, I was a controlling, emotionally manipulative boyfriend who isolated her from her support system and flew into a rage the night she confessed. She captioned one photo, her teary face, lit by soft bathroom light with, "Sometimes it takes years to find the strength to leave your abuser. But I did it." #healing. The comments, full of sympathy. People I'd sat across from at dinner tables, who'd toasted to our anniversary, were writing things like, "So proud of you," and "Men like that never change." Then came the video. She'd filmed herself, red-eyed and soft-spoken, claiming I had financially abused her, forced her to split bills 50-50 while hoarding my income, which is rich considering A, she made more than me, and B, she'd insisted on that exact arrangement. Said it made her feel equal. But logic doesn't trend. Emotion does. I didn't post anything back. No counter video. No long defense. Instead, I just felt curious. How far would she take it? Turns out she's ambitious. Later that night, I got a text from Gemma, one of my coworkers. She's sharp, no nonsense. We've worked together for 4 years, never hung out outside of work. But there's mutual respect. Her message was simple. "Hey, you might want to check your email. Something's being passed around the office." Sure enough, I opened my inbox to find a company-wide memo about sustaining a safe work environment and addressing concerning interpersonal dynamics between employees. No names, no accusations. But the timing wasn't subtle. It didn't take a genius to connect the dots. She wasn't just poisoning friendships. She was laying groundwork for something bigger. A narrative, a legal angle, a strategy. I should have been furious. But all I felt was this cold, steady clarity. Like someone had finally turned the volume down on chaos. Yesterday, I stopped by the only place I thought would be safe. The coffee shop across from the library. Allison always hated their coffee. Said it tasted like sad cardboard. Turns out she'd been going there regularly. The barista, normally friendly, gave me a look like I just walked in covered in blood. I didn't need to ask. I could feel it. She'd been spreading her story to anyone who'd listen. But then something changed. While picking up a box of winter clothes from my storage unit, I ran into Juliana, Allison's closest friend. Someone I assumed had cut me off weeks ago. She looked off, eyes darting around, wringing her sleeves. "Hey," she said quietly. "You need to be careful." I blinked. "You're the first person to say that to me." She leaned in, voice low. "Jay's not just Allison's boss. His wife. She's connected, powerful. Allison's been feeding her this story that you're unstable, dangerous, that she's scared of what you might do." I just stared. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. She hesitated. Then, because this isn't the first time. There was another guy. Before you. Same pattern. Same setup. Jay and Allison, they ruined his life. He left the city. Changed jobs. Went completely off the grid. I felt something shift inside me. That night I didn't sleep. I started digging. Late into the early morning. Legal records. Social media trails. Company posts. Turns out she wasn't lying. There was a man. Mark T. His name was scrubbed from everything around the time Allison started at the company. I found one tagged photo from a happy hour. Then nothing. Like he vanished. This morning it got worse. Our landlord called. Apparently, Allison tried to remove me from the lease. Told him I'd abandoned the property. When that didn't work, she claimed I'd been threatening her. He said he didn't believe it. His sister went through something similar years ago. I don't know what she's playing at, he said. But you should protect yourself. And then, just as I was absorbing all of that, I got a message request on Instagram from a woman I didn't recognize. Middle-aged, elegant in the profile photo. Diamond earrings. Classic haircut. Real money. Her message was simple. I believe we need to talk about my husband and your girlfriend. Coffee tomorrow? Signed, Mrs. J. I meet her in an hour. Something tells me Allison's little real man fantasy is about to implode. And I'll be there, watching. Because the truth, every lie, every fake tear, every spin she's made, it doesn't hurt anymore. It just confirms what I already know. I'm not losing anything worth keeping. Update 2. Sorry for the delay. These past 2 weeks have been... Well, wild doesn't quite cover it. That coffee meeting with Mrs. J? Game changer. She wasn't there to cry or seek sympathy. She was calm, methodical, had a leather-bound planner, a perfect manicure, and the kind of voice that could ruin reputations over brunch. She laid everything out. Turns out she's been documenting her husband Jay's patterns for years. And Allison? Just the latest in a long line of younger employees he's mentored into his bed, and then used to clean house. Remember how Juliana mentioned that guy who vanished? He wasn't the first. Mrs. J had records. Emails with timestamps lining up with late-night hotel stays. Expense reports filed under consulting dinners that just so happened to involve lingerie stores and hotel suites. Security footage from the office garage. And best of all, screenshots of messages between Jay and Allison, plotting to discredit people they saw as threats. She'd stayed quiet this long to protect her kids, her reputation, her financial future. But now, I'm done watching people like your girlfriend think they're bulletproof, she said. You want to help? Just let them show who they really are. And that's where the next chapter begins. Because the annual company party was coming up, a formal thing held in some overpriced hotel downtown. Black tie, open bar, name tags and backstabbing. I wasn't going to go. Why would I? But Mrs. J insisted. Let her think she's won. Just be there. The rest will take care of itself. So I did. I showed up late, dressed better than I ever had. Not for Allison. Not for Jay. For me. New suit. Clean shave. The kind of quiet entrance that doesn't need a spotlight, it makes one. The second I walked in, heads turned. Eyes widened. A few mouths actually dropped. Allison froze. Glass halfway to her lips. Jay's face went ghost white. Like someone had just unplugged his future. And that was before the real fun began. Chloe approached first. Tipsy, stumbling, loud enough to make a scene. You've got some nerve showing up here, she slurred, wine glass tilted. After everything you put Allison through. I didn't flinch, just smiled. Everything I put her through? That's an interesting story. You should stick around. Tonight's full of plot twists. That's when Gemma stepped in. Yeah. Gemma, my quiet coworker, the one who warned me early on. She'd been collecting her own set of receipts. Screenshots of Allison bragging in internal chat threads about bagging the boss, mocking people she'd manipulated, even laying out how she and Jay would spin the story if HR ever got involved. And now, actually, Gemma said, raising her voice slightly, I think we'd all like to hear the real version. She plugged a flash drive into the presentation laptop, the one connected to the event's big screen. Boom! A slideshow began. A carefully curated reel of texts, photos, and emails. The kind that doesn't scream, it whispers ruin. There were gasps, silence, a few nervous laughs that quickly died. Then came Juliana. She stepped up like she'd been carrying this weight for years. I helped her once, she said, voice trembling. I helped Allison lie. Helped her ruin someone who didn't deserve it. I can't do it again. Jay tried to shut it down. Allison tried to shout over her. It didn't matter. Then came the final nail. Jacob. Good old bros before hoes Jacob. He thought he was being slick, filming everything on his phone to show Jay later, thinking it would earn him brownie points. But someone tapped him on the shoulder, asked to airdrop the footage. Played live, uncut. Allison, mid-screech. You think you're clever? You and that bitter old woman trying to ruin everything I built? Jay loves me. We're going to have a life together. And that's when Mrs. J walked in. Flawless timing. Holding an envelope. Divorce papers. Already filed. Already signed. Already in motion. She handed them to Jay. Loud enough for everyone to hear. Your new life starts without me. Or my money. By midnight, the party was dead. Allison had stormed out. Mascara streaked like war paint. Jay was locked in a back room with HR and 2 members of the board. Chloe disappeared without a word. Jacob just stood there, still holding his phone, looking like a rat caught in his own trap. I said almost nothing the entire night. Didn't need to. I just watched the house they built, on lies, manipulation, betrayal, start to collapse from the inside out. Before I left, Mrs. J grabbed my arm. Thank you, she said, for being the one who didn't run. I nodded. Didn't trust myself to say much. Back at the motel, Pete was still up watching Letterman reruns in the office. He saw my face, grinned like a man who already knew. Good night. You could say that. This morning, my phone's been buzzing again. But the tone's changed. Now it's apologies. Excuses. People who backed Allison suddenly weren't sure what to believe. Even Mark, that Mark, reached out. Said he's been watching from afar through mutual connections. You were the first one to fight back, he wrote. The rest of us just survived. I don't know where this is heading next. There'll be fallout. Always is. But one thing I do know, sometimes you don't need to burn someone down. You just give them space to light the match themselves. And then you stand back. Let the truth do the rest. Update 3. Well, this is it. The last chapter in this saga, and if you've been following since the start, I owe you a real ending. A few of you said the company party would be the climax. It wasn't. It was the earthquake. The aftershocks. They've been tearing through ever since. Within 48 hours of the party, Jay and Allison were forced to resign. Quietly at first, but the board issued a formal statement 2 days later. Ethics review. Workplace boundaries. The usual sanitized phrasing. But Mrs. J wasn't done. Remember all that documentation she'd collected? She didn't just show the board. She handed it off to their legal team. Emails, financial misconduct, falsified reports, patterns of harassment dating back 5 years. Jay and Allison hadn't just broken hearts. They'd broken laws, company policy, IRS compliance. Now, civil suits, plural. The company is suing to recover misused funds and prevent further litigation exposure. HR is now neck-deep in crisis management. And Jay? Facing a potential fraud investigation tied to those doctored expense reports. But the real surprise? Mark came back. Yeah, that Mark. The one who disappeared. Turns out he never really gave up. He just went underground. But when he saw what was happening, thanks to mutuals sending him screenshots, he showed up. And he brought receipts. Literal and digital. Voice memos, text logs, internal messages from the year Allison and Jay drove him out. He filed his own suit 3 days later. And that, it seems, was the breaking point. Because suddenly, like floodgates opening, other former employees started coming forward. Each with their own story, their own evidence. What started as one scandal turned into a cascading HR disaster. Allison tried to get ahead of it. Posted another tearful video, different angle, same formula. This time she said she was the victim. That Jay had manipulated her. That she'd been groomed by a powerful man and pressured to participate in cover-ups. She disabled comments. Didn't stop Juliana. Within 24 hours, Juliana posted screenshots from their private chats. Allison bragging about climbing her way up, mocking coworkers, planning her spin strategy in case things went south. There were messages that read, "If HR ever asks, I'll just say Jay pushed. He has more to lose than I do." And worse, Juliana's post went viral on LinkedIn. Allison's accounts? Deleted within hours. Last week, Pete, the motel guy, calls me while I'm at work. "That girl you told me about?" he says. "She's in the parking lot, crying. Big scene. Thought you'd want to know. I took my time getting back. Sure enough, there she was, Allison, sitting on the hood of my car, eyeliner streaked, clutching a manila envelope like it was her last breath. She didn't scream, didn't cry. She begged. I have dirt. On everyone. Chloe. Jacob. Even Mrs. J. If you help me stop this, I'll give it all to you. I just laughed. Go ahead. Burn every bridge you have left. See how far it gets you. She shoved the envelope at me. I opened it. Photos. Screenshots. DMs. A greatest hits album of her weaponized manipulation. I took pictures of every page slowly. Let her watch. Then handed the originals back. Use them. Leak them. Whatever. But before you do, look around. Look at what playing games got you. She broke. Right there in the gravel parking lot. She tore the envelope to pieces, screaming, calling me names that echoed across the empty lot like echoes of a dying era. Someone caught it on video, posted it under the caption, "When the villain doesn't get the rewrite she planned." The final blow came 2 days ago. Mrs. J's divorce finalized. She got the house, both cars, most of their assets, and Jay's golden parachute package, which the company now rerouted to cover their legal fees. His reputation, vaporized. He applied to 2 other companies since resigning. Both declined. Fast. Google is not his friend anymore. As for Allison, she moved out of state, back in with her parents, according to Juliana. Her once busy social media, gone. Deleted. Scrubbed. Jacob? Tried texting me some weak apology. Didn't know the full story, bro. Should have been a better friend. I replied with a screenshot of his own messages. He blocked me. Classic coward move. Chloe? Worried now. That envelope Allison waved around? Might have included receipts that could sink her career. She's doing damage control, messaging mutuals, trying to clarify her side. Me? I just signed a lease on a new apartment. Finally unpacked the last of my boxes yesterday. Got promoted at work too. Funny how fast things fall into place when you cut the rod out. And yeah, I'm seeing someone. Nothing dramatic. Just slow. Honest. Real. She knows the story. The whole thing. Said she liked how I never burned it all down. Just waited for the flames to find their own fuel. The truth? I didn't need revenge. I just needed distance, silence, and time. Time to see who people really are. Time to stop making excuses for red flags I tried to paint gray. Time to build something, anything that isn't made of lies. The best revenge isn't a plan. It's a mirror. And watching someone unravel in front of it? That's closure. Thanks for writing this one out with me. Reddit. Karma didn't need my help. Just an audience.